this month's edition of From the Core, we visit the Patel Conservatory and learn about the art of dance,
get the buzz on Tumblr,
and hang out with some canine friends for the Tampa Bay Kennel Club.
All these stories and more are coming your way in this edition of
From the Core.
Hello, I'm Brianna.
And I'm Alex, and we would like to welcome you to From the Core.
What vitamins and minerals are good for strong bones?
When did women get the right to vote?
Do you think you know about War and Peace?
For answers to these questions, we go to Nino.
Hello, and welcome to this month's edition of the TISC. Did you know that girls are at a greater risk for bone problems? Osteoporosis, which is the thinning of bone tissue and loss of bone density over time, is 4 times more common in women than men. And adolescent girls consume calcium and participate in physical activities at lower rates than boys. Research also shows that bone fracture rates are increasing, and few adolescent girls get the recommended amount of calcium and vitamin D. The Department of Health and Human Services has designed a campaign to improve bone health and decrease the risk of osteoporosis. It is called Best Bones Forever. The agency recommends girls eat food rich in calcium and vitamin D. Why? Because calcium helps form bones and keeps them strong and hard. Vitamin D helps your body use calcium. These rich food sources include broccoli, milk, yogurt, collard greens, and kale. To find out more about reducing your risk to osteoporosis, check out bestbonesforever.gov. In relation to history, I've got another thing to tell you. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, is a crucial line from the document that formed the foundation of America, the Declaration of Independence. However, something equally crucial is missing, the mention of women. In 1848, women first formally asserted their rights at the Seneca Falls Convention in New York in the Declaration of Sentiments, a document largely based on the Declaration of Independence. Later on, in 1890, the National American Woman Suffrage Association was formed to focus on gaining women the right to vote. This organization decided to advocate its cause by going state by state. Beginning in 1910, some Western states granted women's suffrage, but it wasn't until the election of 1920, 10 years later, that women exercised their right to vote. Overall, it took over 50 years for women to gain the right to vote. To be able to vote is a privilege, so be sure to vote responsibly in the upcoming presidential election. When it comes to making effective peace policies, women are also an important aspect to consider, but this approach is not yet complete. That's why the United States Institute of Peace is once again holding its annual National Peace Essay Contest for high school students. Students who wish to participate must analyze in 1,500 words the answer to the question, what does it mean to have a gendered approach to war and peace issues? The deadline for submissions is February 1st, 2013. First place winners from each state receive a $1,000 scholarship and are invited to Washington, D.C. for a 5-day all-expense-paid awards program and seminar on international peacemaking. Don't miss out on this chance to become a leader. For more information, please visit the United States Institute of Peace website. That's all I have for now. I'm Nino, and I thought you should know.
Near the majestic Hillsborough River, there is a place where dancers come from near and far to bathe in rich cultural experiences that will prepare them for future achievement. This special place is called the Patel Conservatory. We sent FTC reporter Jackie to find out what makes these dancers want to move on up.
Next Generation Ballet, or NGB for short, is one of Patel Conservatory's dance programs. The conservatory is located adjacent to the Strass Center for the Performing Arts in downtown Tampa.
Side, side, side. Passe, 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 passe.
Chairman of the dance program, Peter Stark, says NGB is dedicated to preparing young talent for professional employment.
We are making superstars here, and I'm very proud of it. The program, Next Generation Ballet, is really has been developed to be a stepping stone for great talent, and we are training great talent.
NGB provides instruction, coaching, and performance opportunities for kids as young as age 3. Training intensifies from ages 14 to 17. NGB really takes a lot of dedication.
Just like the Olympics, if you want to train, you have to train extremely hard. I mean, they're athletes, and you know, to develop the strength and flexibility required, it's something that you have to do for many hours a day, every day.
This summer at the Patel Conservatory, teens will go through summer intensives where dancers sharpen their skills and some decide to stay even longer. 14-year-old Landon Harris packed up his bags and came all the way from Denver, Colorado when he got the chance to dance at Next Generation Ballet.
I auditioned for Peter Stark at Next Generation Ballet in Colorado, and I really felt a connection with his training, and I really liked it in that intensive. And he offered me to come down here on a full scholarship, and I did. I took it.
If you're into Broadway, you may have seen Landon perform in Billy Elliot. With only a month's worth of practice, Landon performed 225 shows over the course of 10 months. But what makes someone put that much time and dedication into something?
It's that hard to describe feeling, that one that you're about to get to perform in front of someone, you're about to give them a show. And you know that you're gonna love doing it, and it's that feeling of you're not sure if you're gonna hit everything or not, but that's what makes it fun, knowing that if you do screw something up, you're gonna have to be able to correct it and change it, and you get to perform.
The Patel Conservatory has been inspiring many young dancers throughout the Bay Area. But how would you describe something as inspiring as dance? 14-year-old Gabrielle Beach has the answers.
It is storytelling through movements of a formal kind of technique that was made by kings and queens long ago. That it's a very interesting way of creating and telling a story through movements and dances.
Gabrielle is an amazing storyteller herself. Not only has she competed in numerous competitions, but this year she will join 3 others from the Patel Conservatory to compete in Beijing, China. The Patel Conservatory is an amazing place that works collaboratively with the Strass Center for Performing Arts to expose you to the culture-rich experiences in music, theater, and especially dance.
What's wonderful is for these young dancers to walk down the hall and then hear somebody singing an opera aria, and then in the next studio someone's playing the violin, and then here we go into ballet. So that interaction and that cross-pollination is something unique and really special that exists here only at the Strass.
Next Generation Ballet is just one of many programs available for teens like you. Check out our website for a full list of opportunities.
Now it's time for Follow the Story, where we talk about the news behind the news. Today, we are joined by Mayor's Youth Corps members, Kevin and Esme. They are here to discuss the hazards of backpacks, as well as what's trending among teens. All right, let's get started. As you know, backpacks and their possible health consequences are becoming a major issue among students. We're all currently in high school, so I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Our backpacks are like mini survival kits because they contain all the items we need to get through an average school day. Belongings such as books, notebooks, binders, and musical instruments that easily add up to 20, 30, even 50 pounds. At this age, our bones and muscles are still forming. So some say the heavy weight won't just drain energy, but cause chronic back pain, neck strain, and nerve damage in the neck and shoulders. In a study conducted by the Federal Consumer Product Safety Commission, it was estimated that students lug about 21,600 pounds a year. Now that you know backpacks potentially pose serious health risks, what are some changes you plan to make in the upcoming school year, if any?
I would give more time in between classes so that students can go visit their locker more often. This way they can have books for each class, not having to carry around books for like 3 classes at a time. I would also use the use of technology, having a Kindle, so that everything could be on one small technological device instead of having to have multiple textbooks.
Sounds like a really good idea.
For me personally, I would be more organized in school and I would get more work done, so that way I could have fewer things to carry in my backpack.
Okay. What are some poor habits you observe in your fellow classmates, and what tips can you offer them?
I noticed that students aren't really wearing their backpacks on both shoulders, they're wearing it on one shoulder. And also, the straps are really thin, which could cut off circulation.
Not only that, but students should be wearing backpacks with like padded straps so that it's not as much pressure on their backs.
Concerned about the heavy loads that students are carrying, schools are considering limiting, even banning backpacks in schools. What are your thoughts on this, and how important are backpacks to you?
I think that backpacks are extremely important because personally I went to a middle school in which backpacks weren't allowed. So you had these big binders that you had to carry around that didn't fit all of your stuff, and things were falling out as you were walking down the halls, which could make you late to class, and it just wasn't efficient. And although backpacks do cause like health risks, I think that there's ways to manage it without having to get rid of them.
Yeah, as long as you're smart about your backpack, it can be like just really helpful. It won't be a health detriment, so I agree with her.
All right, now we're going to move on to what's trending in your lives. Okay, Kevin, let's start with you. What's trending?
I don't know if you're aware, but Tumblr is a new social networking website that's becoming increasingly popular with kids our age. It combines photo sharing with text, audio, video, links, and quotes that individual users can post on like personal blogs called Tumblogs. From there, users can follow blogs that they like that have similar interests as them, and they can see all of their favorite blogs and what they post. So it's like they're kind of getting to know other people, but on a different social networking website.
All right, so I assume you have a Tumblr. Can you tell me what your favorite part about it is?
Yeah, my favorite part is just like being able to see other people who are interested in the same things as you and the creativity that goes along with it, because lots of Tumblr users make their own posts, and I think just seeing like the humorous ones and just like how creative people can get really is cool.
I know what you mean. All right, thank you, Kevin. All right, Esme, what's trending with you?
Summer jobs. I work at Stars Gymnastics, so I'm like coaching the little kids and teaching them basic gymnastics skills from anywhere from 9 to 4.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. In your opinion, is it easier to get a seasonal or summer job than it would be to get a part-time or full-time job during the year?
I think that it's easier to get a seasonal job because not as many teenagers are applying for jobs like they are during the summer. School time is usually designated just for school time, not school time and a job. So the amount of kids definitely changes the difference between seasonal and summer.
What advice do you have for teens trying to find work, especially over the summer?
I think that it's important to go to local areas, such as, you know, people that your parents know or stores that you shop at quite frequently, not big stores like Sweet Bay and Publix and H&M at the mall, because those are like corporate businesses, so it's not really a person behind like the face. I think that when you go to local jobs, you have people that you know and their kids are in your school and you see them every day.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All right, thank you guys so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us. It's a pleasure.
Don't go anywhere. From the Core will be right back. Up next, we get a visit from a few furry friends that you don't want to miss. Welcome back to From the Core.
Buying a family dog could be a major decision. With so many breeds to choose from, it's hard to know what type of four-legged friend is right for you.
So Maddie invited a few members of the Tampa Bay Kennel Club to our studio to help guide you in the right direction.
Hi, I'm here with Mr. Anthony Lopez. He is part of the Tampa Bay Kennel Club. Thanks for being here today, Mr. Lopez.
My pleasure.
So tell me a little bit about the Tampa Bay Kennel Club.
Well, the Tampa Bay Kennel Club has been in existence for a long time. They back in 1940 is when they were incorporated, and we conducted our first all-breed dog show in 1943 at the Fort Homer Hesterly Armory. I think we had a total of about 200 dogs.
So how does someone become part of the Tampa Bay Kennel Club?
Well, if they need to attend meetings. The Tampa Bay Kennel Club meets twice, the second Thursday of every month. And if they attend at least 3 meetings in succession, then they can apply to the membership, fill out an application, and then that application will be voted on by the membership.
So I know you didn't come alone today. You have some dogs with us?
Oh, yeah.
So here we have a Tibetan Mastiff named Mei Li and her owner, Jeannie St. John. Thanks for being here today.
Oh, I'm glad to be here.
So what's some history behind the Tibetan Mastiff?
Tibetan Mastiffs are an ancient breed. They're new to AKC. They've only been in the last 10 years. But they're ancient because they found evidence back from 4,000 BC, in Tibet, which is the top of the world in the Himalayas. So, and that's where they're originated.
What is the lifespan for a dog like this?
12, 13, 14 years old, depending on how you treat them and care for them and what they eat and that kind of thing, and heredity.
So is this a good dog to have around families and kids?
They're great with kids and families. They're very protective, though. So you have to introduce strangers to them.
Yes.
You can't just let people just walk in a house because that's what they're meant to do. They're a guard dog.
So this dog would need a lot of room to run and play, like a big yard?
They like to play, they like to run, but they stay near the house. They're not an apartment dweller. They couldn't be in an apartment, but they do like to go outside, but they're couch potatoes inside.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have an American Cocker Spaniel. His name is Logan, and his owner is Carrie Lehman. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us. I appreciate it.
Tell us some background on the American Cocker Spaniel.
The American Cocker is a spaniel, the smallest of the sporting breeds. They are bred to flush game, woodcock in England. That's where they originated from. And the first spaniel came from the Cocker Spaniel, came over on the Mayflower back in 1620.
So this is a small dog, good for apartments and small houses?
Absolutely, yeah. They can live in an apartment, they can live in a house, but you do have to exercise them. They like to run. They are prey driven. They love birds and squirrels, and so you want to get them outside and see that.
So I know American Cocker Spaniels are prone to lots of diseases. Is that something someone should keep in mind when buying a Cocker Spaniel?
Absolutely. There are health issues that come along with the Cocker Spaniel. Because of the floppy ears, you get a lot of ear infections.
Yeah.
But with the right care, you can definitely keep it at its lowest, But yeah, other than that, they suffer from cataracts as well as they get older. But other than that, they're not a bad dog. They do have some allergies to outside stuff, but, again, you just got to stay on top of it. If you do, they'll be fine.
Okay, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Moving on to our next dog, which is a Samiad, and his owner is Loane Wyatt. What is the Samiad bred to do originally?
It was originally bred to herd reindeer and pull small sleds. They also took them into their huts at night to help keep the family and the kids warm. And they originated in northern Siberia with the Samiad nomad tribes.
I see that it has a thick coat. Is that a problem in the Florida heat?
No, it's not a problem. They are double coated. The undercoat insulates them from the heat and the cold. So they do fine in Florida. We're usually ready to go inside before they are.
They like a lot of daily exercise to move and run around?
Yes, they are a working dog. You have to exercise them on a daily basis. They need to get out where they can do a little bit of running and playing so that they can keep their stamina up.
Okay, thanks for being here. Certainly, Tampa Bay Kennel Club is for dog lovers. They believe in the advanced study, exhibition, and maintenance of purebred dogs. The Kennel Club has numerous programs to help the canine community in and around Tampa Bay, such as the Responsible Dog Ownership Day and junior clinics, which allowed kids and teens to get involved. If our viewers wanted to learn more about the Tampa Bay Kennel Club and about the dogs they saw today on the show, what would the website that they would visit?
Well, they could, Tampa Bay Kennel Club's website is www.tampabaykennelclub.com. There's also the AKC Kennel Club, akc.org, and that website will give you insight to all of the different breeds. And from their website, you can link to the parent club for the different breeds and learn more about the specific breeds.
Okay, well, thank you all for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a doggone good interview.
So true. When we come back, we'll tell you about a woman who you might not know, but is definitely worth your respect.
This financial advisor is being accused of committing one of the largest investment frauds in the history of the United States.
I guess we're not going to Aspen. That's fine. You see, I like tennis balls. He likes insider trading. So he's going to jail and I'm going to a shelter. And no, they're not the same thing. Shelters are for good pets that want to be adopted. Jails are for criminals. I've done nothing. Uh-oh. Ooh, okay, I stole a cheeseburger once. I'm a dog.
Welcome back to From the Core. Throughout the year, we will talk about historical figures who have made a difference in the Tampa Bay region and beyond. Today, the person of note is Eleanor McWilliams Chamberlain, and here to tell us more is Mayor Youth Corps member Kayla. Hi, Kayla. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So who is Eleanor McWilliams Chamberlain?
Well, Eleanor McWilliams Chamberlain was born in 1858. She lived in Iowa with her husband, Fielding P. Chamberlain, and it was there that she first became interested in women's rights before moving to Tampa.
Okay. What movements or groups was she involved in?
Well, once she moved to Tampa, she began writing in the Tampa Journal. She had a column, and she advocated for women's rights there. And in 1897, she started the Florida Women's Suffrage Association, which was the first women's suffrage movement in Tampa.
What was Eleanor passionate about?
She was very passionate about women's rights. In addition to the women's suffrage, she also advocated for mother's pensions, which is a lot like Social Security for widows with young children. And she was also passionate about human rights and civil rights. She worked to get assistance for African Americans.
What are some of her accomplishments that she did with her passion for women's rights?
The suffrage movement she started allowed women to become politically active, even if just minorly, in Tampa for the first time, and this influenced future movements that would form.
What inspiration did you draw from Eleanor McWilliams?
I think she showed us that every person deserves to have a right to have a voice in politics and your city, and all you have to do to get that voice is to make an effort.
Thank you, Kayla, for coming on here and talking about such a wonderful woman.
Thank you.
We'll be right back on From the Core.
Listen to the Uncle Johannes. Raisinbrahms make you grow up smart and successful so you can be a doctor, lawyer, handsome, genius composer. Like me.
Feed your kids the arts. Visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
Welcome back. Here at From the Core, we always believe that what teens have to say is important.
Recently, Alex Posada dropped by to share her thoughts on one of this year's most controversial and popular movements, Kony 2012.
The Kony 2012 movement has gained a great deal of popularity in recent months. But it's important that we understand exactly what it is we are rallying behind and why. The aim of the movement is to take down the warlord, Joseph Kony. Mr. Kony has been a leader of a rebel army, the Lord's Resistance Army, for about 20 years. The LRA members believe that Kony is a prophet and that if the LRA can overthrow the Ugandan government, they will establish a theocracy that will be governed by the Ten Commandments. More importantly, the LRA is known for going into villages, burning down huts, chopping off lips, and other unspeakable acts. However, one of the most lamentable aspects of the LRA is that they have been going into the homes of children and forcing them to either serve as sex slaves or as prepubescent killers. There are thought to be roughly 30,000 members of the LRA today. It is our responsibility as members of a global community to give a voice and to protect these invisible children. The movement has made several advancements in recent years. An example of progress that began with the Bush administration was sending 17 counterterrorism advisors to train Ugandan troops to take Kony down. More recently, President Obama authorized having 100 armed military advisors help regional forces combat Kony. This year, it is the mission of the movement to make this the last year that Kony will continue his sadistic tirade. Today, we can make an impact by supporting Kony 2012 by making donations on this website, www.invisiblechildren.com. On this website, one can view the many videos about the movement and its international impact. One can also purchase an action pack that includes posters, a t-shirt, and a Kony 2012 bracelet. Action packs are being globally utilized to bring attention to this movement one individual at a time.
Alex's commentary is just one way teens in our society can make a difference, and she's not the only person in the Bay Area whose efforts and actions contribute to improving our community.
Local teen Yvonne Orjuela competed against 1,500 students from around the nation to win the Group 4 division of the Coastal America Ocean Art Contest, with a photograph she calls Gateway. In early June, Yvonne attended an awards ceremony at the National Geographic headquarters in our nation's capital. Her work, along with other winners' pieces, were on display throughout Washington, D.C. during the Capitol Hill Ocean Week. The photograph is currently part of an exhibition at the Department of Commerce and will move to the National Academies of Science in late September.
Hannah Bettis is a young lady who is truly on the move. The 16-year-old ballerina recently won the Youth America Grand Prix, just as she did in 2011. She came in second overall in the Prix de Lausanne in Switzerland and won audience favorite. Hannah was also a finalist in a South African ballet competition this year. She recently attended an all-expense-paid ballet showcase in China. This September, Hannah will attend the Royal Ballet School in London on a full scholarship.
On a special note, we want to shout about a bright student and talented thespian, Brooke Pash. Brooke attended Blake High School, where she served as historian for thespian troupe 5742. Brooke was also an active member and advocate for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. She helped raise money for other children to ensure their wishes were granted. She got her wish to go on the set of the Disney show Wizards of Waverly Place. Brooke was a senior and would have graduated with the class of 2012. She lived every day to the fullest, being given only 2 weeks to live at birth, and brightened the day of each person she met. Sadly, she passed away in June. Brooke will be missed by all who knew her, especially her best friend and sister, Hannah. Our hearts here at FTC go out to the Pash family.
That about concludes this edition of From the Core.
To all of you watching, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, always do your part.
Tune in next month for another edition of From the Core.